Hello everyone, welcome back to the new video. And in this video, we are going to set up the navigation to our app. But before that, let's have a brief intro on navigation. Navigation simply means moving from one screen to another within an app. When your app has more than one screen, you need to define how user will move between these screens. For example, a user clicks a particular button, the app should navigate to a specified screen. Similarly, when the user clicks the back button, the app should take them back to the previous screen. Now to implement the navigation, first add one more screen to our app. Go to this presentation package and create one more package with the name blog content. And here create one file with the name blog content screen and create a composable function with the same name. And here just use a text composable with text. This is a content screen and we need to keep this text composable in some layout. So let's use the column layout with fill max size modifier. To navigate to this screen, we need to create routes for this screen. So in our presentation package, let's create one more package with the name navigation. And here create one sealed interface with the name route. And we have two screens. First one, we have this blog list screen. Next, we have this blog content screen. And the second screen will also get the arguments, because whenever we will go from this blog list screen to this blog content screen, we need to pass the blog ID also. So we can get the content of that particular blog to our blog content screen. And next thing, we need to annotate all these classes and objects with the serializable annotation. And this annotation is coming from that Kotlin serialization library. Because under the hood, this navigation library works with this Kotlin serialization library in parsing these arguments. So now we have the routes for each screen. So let's create one nav graph where we will define how we need to navigate between these screens. So let's create one file with the nav graph name and create one composable function with the same name. And with the navigation library, we have this nav host, and this will host all the screens. But we need to define the nav controller and the start destination. And here our app will start from the blog list screen. So use the route class and get the blog list screen. And this nav controller we are going to pass from the main activity where we will use this nav graph. So go to our main activity and create nav controller first and use our nav graph here. And to passing that nav controller, let's go back to our nav graph and create one more parameter with the same name nav controller. But this will be of type nav host controller and use it here. And here we will pass this nav controller. And here in our nav host, we have defined that we need to start our app from this block list screen. And here we need to define all the screens. So to defining the screens, we have this function composable. And this composable will be used for the block list screen. And let's use one more composable function for our blog content screen. And here let's use our blog list screen. Let's also use both these things. And here we provided the inner padding of that scaffold. But now we have the nav graph as the parent layout of this block list screen. So we can move this modifier from here and first attach this modifier to this nav graph modifier, and this modifier we are going to use in our main activity like this. So here in our scaffold we have this nav graph, and this nav graph will host all our screens. And first screen we have for the block list screen, and next let's use our block content screen. Now we need to define how the user will navigate from this list screen to the block content screen. For that, first go to our block list screen, and whenever user will click on any of these cards, we need to navigate to the block content screen. So here just use the modifier with clickable modifier, and this clickable we are going to handle through that screen. And whenever user will click, we need to pass the integer value and attach this clickable here and pass the block ID, and here just use the blank parenthesis for the preview function, and go back to our nav graph. And here whenever user will click on this block card, we need to use this nav controller, and we have one function with the name navigate, and let's define the route. So we need to navigate to the route of block content screen, and this route we are using here. So it will navigate us to this screen. And how we are going back to the previous screen? Let's go to our block content screen, and here let's also use one top bar. For that, let's copy some code from here and name it block content top bar. And here we have one more parameter with the name navigation icon, and here we are going to use an icon button, and here use the icon, and the icon will be this from this icons class. These icons we get with the Jetpack Compose. So here we have different variants of the icons like default, outline, filled, sharp. So let's use the default, and here when you place the dot you can see so many icons we have, and use this arrow back icon. And I think it has been deprecated, so let's hover the mouse and replace it with this. And this on click we are going to handle through the parameters. And let's use our top bar here. First copy this parameter, and we are going to get access this parameter through the block content screen. And we don't need any modifier to our screen, so we can just remove it and minimize these imports and go back to our nav graph. So here whenever user will click on this back button, then again we are going to back to the screen from where we have come. So here again we are going to use this nav controller, and we have one function with the name navigate up. So it will navigate us from where we have come. And one more thing we need to do here, whenever we are going to navigate to this block content screen, we also need to pass the block ID, and we are getting this ID from through this parameter, and just pass this ID here. And how we are going to get this ID to this screen? So here in our composable block we have the nav backstack entry, so that we are going to use. Let's use the block ID and access that with the it, and we have one function with the name toRoute, and we can get that. First, let's convert that to a route which has this ID, this one, and we are going to get the block ID here. And this block ID for now, let's just pass to this screen. So here in our screen, we are going to also get the block ID with the name string. Go to the nav graph and pass this block ID. It needs to be an integer type. And for now, just use this block ID here temporarily. Now we can run our app. So here we have our app, and if I explain you everything one more time, first we have this block list screen, and here we are showing these cards in the lazy vertical grid, and whenever we will click on this block card, we are using this on block card click, and we are passing the block ID. And in our nav graph, we are using this navigate function to navigate to the block content screen. So let's click on any of the card, this third one. And here what's happening? It is navigating us to this block content screen. And here we are getting the navigation argument with the help of this toRoute function. And we are using that navigation argument simply in our block content screen after this text like this. And if I click the back button, so it will navigate back us to the previous screen. And that back button we have specified in our top bar, and we are accessing that in our nav graph. And here we are simply using the navigate up function. This will navigate us to a screen from where we have come. And this is how the navigation will work. So now let's click on the second card, and this time we have get the 2 as the block ID, and press this back button. So we can see everything works fine. Hey everyone, if you are finding this tutorial helpful, you will love my premium Udemy course where we will build Measuremate, a fitness app using Jetpack Compose. We go in depth on the Firebase authentication, Firestore, and more. Check out the course in the description and take your skills to the next level. See you there. And I want to show you one more thing. Most of the times we don't need the navigation argument inside the screen. Rather, we need this navigation argument in our view model so we can fetch the details of that particular thing. So how we are going to get this navigation argument directly in the view model? So for that, go to our block content package and create one more file with the name block content view model. And first extend this to the view model. And if we need to get that navigation argument here, we simply have one class with the name saved state handle. Here we can get this block ID with this save state handle, and after this we will get that toRoute function here also, and we just need to provide the route to that screen which has this navigation argument. And as we can see, we are just using exactly the same code which we were using here. So we are going to get that block ID inside this view model. So now we can delete that block ID parameter from here because this was just for the explanation purpose. And this is all for this video. We have successfully set up the navigation to our app. In the next video, we will get into the details of Markdown, what it is and how we can use it in our app. As always, if you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to drop them down in the comment section. And if you are finding these videos helpful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.